What's up, everybody? It's your boy Landrose, man, and right now you are tuned into the Oracle's One Way with Landrose himself. Keep it locked. Let's get it. I'd say it was my first viral song. Yeah, it was my first viral song. The new national anthem was the first song released in 2020 that gave me some traction. And man, things took off. Things took off, man, because of that song. Whole like multiple languages, a demonstration of versatility, the skill set, the lingo, you name it, man. But yeah, it was such a top tier period, top tier record. Just released at a bad time because it was COVID 2020 level 5, so we couldn't really do much with the new national anthem. But yep, first song that just took off, and for me, it was about being creative and understanding that the hip hop is not that big in this country. So in order for you to capture that many people in different provinces, what can I do to capture everybody else's attention? And then I thought, what if I did something that would at least cover them entirely, like province by province. Yini engathi mhlambe ngingasho ukuthi this province mangayenza loku, this province mangayenza loku, I would have done the most. And I couldn't think of anything better than language. And so I used language to just capture everybody's attention. And before you know it, boom, first viral song. Crazy. Three of my own favorite singles. I'd say number one is I'm Over That. That's my favorite song, man. That's oof, goddamn. Shout out to Luther King for producing and mixing and mastering. That's the first one. The second one is Farewell. Farewell is a favorite of mine, man. Wrote that song from a very all these songs come from a special place. So definitely a favorite. Uh, which one takes the third spot? Let me see. The thing is, I got one that's about to drop. So I feel like that one is also a favorite. I'd probably put it in the top three, I guess. There's a song called I Know My Way. Yeah, it's gonna drop uh, 24th of October along with the project. And yeah, I think I'd give that one the third spot, man. It's a favorite of mine. I'd say those songs come from they're all personal records. And I think when you listen to them, you get to have an idea of who Landrose is through the music. So those songs, they speak volumes about my story, my experiences, and my feelings. So I feel like I'm Over That tells us its own story. Farewell tells its own story. And I Know My Way is also another personal record where I'm just, I'm jotting down and I'm saying, yo, listen, things could be crazy. I might be coming across hardships, different hurdles to get over, but I know my way, man. Like I know it's crazy, and I know sometimes, sorry, there's a lot of discouraging moments, but the only thing that keeps me sane is the fact that I know my way. So I think that for me is a very special record, and I speak about it. I speak about it at length. So it also involves um, a story about some of the people that were close to me, like close friends, and we're not so close anymore and whatnot. But it's like, you know how sometimes it's more like an ex. Some exes, when you cut ties with them, they wish you could get hit by a bus or something. But it's like, no, you don't have to wish the worst. On me, it's like, I'm gonna experience life the way it's meant for me. You understand? I'm gonna go through the challenges that are meant for me as well, and all the blessings that are meant for me are gonna come directly to me. So it's like no matter what's I know my way. I'm not gonna lose. I'm not gonna lose sight, or maybe uh, 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 or get off the same path ekmele ngihambe kuyo because manje mhlambe I'm no longer close with whoever. Nah, everything that's meant for me is still gonna come to me. Ooh, major musical influence. You know, my so I'll say this. influence, inspiration, I know different things, but I'll say this. I get inspiration from personal experiences. And most of my music it sounds personal. Because I vent out when I'm on the mic. I just vent. I vent. So I like expressing myself. But in terms of inspiration, man, I listen to the likes of Chris Brown. I listen to the likes of Nasty C, your Drake, your Joyner Lucas, Alicia Cara, Nomfundo Mo. Listen, the list goes on and on and on. Those people, man, are just so amazing. When I listen to them, it's like Black Diamond. Yo, gotta shout out Black Diamond. I listen to those people and I feel like, yeah, these guys are fit. These guys are like, for me, that's the bar, bro. I listen to those guys and I'm like, I like the feeling that they give me. And they inspire me so much to work towards making music at that level and with such precision. Because I just feel like they are perfectionists. With what they drop, woo, definitely those guys. A favorite verse of my own. Yeah, that's a tough one. Damn. Yo, I got so many verses, man. Yo, my goodness. Um,
But what do you usually go back to, like randomly? Which verse do you just randomly start rapping when you going about your business?
it's crazy because I hardly even go back to my own verses, eh? I write so many verses and I forget others. You know who's Ingom and I'm just like, I said that? Oh, damn. Because I completely forgot. I write so many verses I forget. But recently, people have been giving me praises for my verse on Musical Major's song, The Controversial Truth. People love that verse. People say, yo, man, that verse is definitely like verse of the year for us. And I'm like, that's fire. But apart from that, I also feel there's a song by Young Ginger. It's called Proud of Me. And I'm featured on that song as well. And I don't know, man. That song and that verse there is so refreshing, man. You know, I start off saying, mina ngiyawushaya umsebenzi ngafika eGoli ngizophanda usheleni asikho isikhathi sokuba baba umseleko anginaso isikhathi sokushawa ngephenti siya phambili wona ngazumeleni khule ngepapa namanzi ngengifaka ushukela ngigoqoze indlala engangifici yazi amathanga ahlanzela abangenamabhoda kodwa ngihlale ethembeni. Now it's back to back, got my hits. Now it's God blessing, God did. I'm in the field far from the bench. They told me my career was a risk. I became who I wanted as a kid, serving a living God and he tips. I got the devil out of way he pissed. Ah, that verse, man. That verse is crazy. That verse is crazy. I like it so much, man. It's like it's refreshing. It wasn't difficult for me to write, and it's like it's always it's like one of the jiggiest verses that come to mind every time I think about verses. Yeah. A verse I wish was mine.
Yeah.
I'll say this because it just came top of my mind. Katotsara koleginchaka. Arovasa. Ay, Matlera. Listen, that verse on that KO record, I think for me that was verse of the year, bro. That verse is crazy, bro. The things he said there. Ooh, how he unpacked that verse. Ooh, top tier verse.
Yeah.
Um, the biggest misconception is that people think they've seen the best of me. They haven't. And the crazy thing is, I appreciate getting all the praises and the credit, but I was having a conversation with one of my bros, Vince, yesterday, and I told him, so many people like showering me with praises, and I appreciate it. I know it's off of the work that I put out, and which is cool. But I've come to realize that I now respond differently to that, not because people are not supposed to be praising me, but because I feel like I can't take the credit yet because I know I haven't shown them the best of me. So then it's like, well, wait till you see the best of me. Then I'll feel like now I can take the credit. Now I can live in it and say, yeah, very. But right now I'm just like, I haven't done much, you know? I haven't done much. For them to give me all these praises and say, yo, you're amazing. I know how far I can go. It's just that I've been inconsistent and that sucks. And I suck with that. I can tell you I suck, but you know, that'll change. That'll change. Crazy man. I think they gave me a phone call back to the city, hit me up and said, "Hey man, the 2022 I was performing as a performer. Obviously, I showed up as a performer, but 2023 they extended. They called me and said, "Yo man, we're gonna extend the offer. We'd like to give you an option to either perform or host." I was like, "Okay, well, what does the hosting gig entail?" Well, they said, "Yo, this is what you're gonna be responsible for, and you're gonna be doing blah 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 blah." And I was like, I perform all the time. So how about I take on a new challenge and see what he Ying Patele, and it sounds interesting. I was like, okay, cool. And then I took it on. And I think because there wasn't anything about me that was, as far as I'm concerned, there wasn't anything about me that was saying host, definitely host. But I think they probably saw one of some of my, let me say some of my videos online, because I would post myself doing voiceovers, and I think they took that and said, he sounds like he can hold his own. Apart from him being on a mic and being a rapper and whatnot, he can make a great MC because all he has to do is just engage with people and have the right tone and be professional. And, I think they looked at all those parts and said, he could definitely make it work. And also, he's not, I tell people this all the time, I'm shy. I'm a very shy guy. But when it's time to work, I lose all of that. Like, so I think they saw Noguchi and he could definitely handle a huge crowd. Yeah, I mean there wasn't really much around it. It's just I think they spotted potential and said, you know what, we'd like to give you an opportunity. We think you can do it. And hey, 3 years in and I'm still going. So it's nice. You got to do it thrice.
So is that to say that next year you're back again? 20 years of Back to the City.
Of course, I would love to. I would love to. But in terms of the hosting gig, who knows? You know, I'd like to do so damn much, but I think this time around I'd like to come back as a performer. I haven't performed at Back to the City since 2022, and I'd like to do amazing things, man. I think I got great music. I'm still gonna drop another project pretty soon, so I think it's only right that I get that much of a huge crowd, and I just deliver, bro. Oh man, I wish I could perform and host. Yo, that would be crazy. Ooh, that would be crazy. Yes, sir. This chapter is personal. My new EP dropping on the 24th of October, 2025, man. Consists of 9 songs. And yeah, 4 records I've already dropped. I just felt like, why waste time, man? I'll give them a single. And then in the next 2, 3 weeks, I'll give them another one. And in the next 2 weeks, I'll do the same thing again. And yeah, the title speaks for itself, man. This chapter is personal. I dropped personal records there. Um, I was like, I think I took a month and a half to just work on records. Some of them didn't make it, some of them made it. And I was like, okay, well, I think 9 joints is decent for an EP. And yo, I just wanted to express myself, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. In fact, I expressed myself um, the best way I possibly could in this period of time. And I've got a lot of personal records that I want people to hear and enjoy. So far, I've dropped 4 singles. The first one was "Smell Your Roses." That was me, dedicating a special record to a very special person in my life, man. A very very close friend of mine, and it just had to make it to the project because it is a personal record, bro. So that was beautiful. The second one was "I'm Not Giving Up," simply because, like I said, I go through challenges. I deal with a lot of stuff, and sometimes this journeyman will discourage you with a lot of things, but I'm not giving up. And I just had to say, like, yo, took over 10,000 shots in this game, and I'm still here. Make money, then we lose money, then we try our best to make it reappear. So it's like we go through a whole lot of stuff, but I address it entirely on that record. Third record was "Time Flies." You know, I'm not so young no more. I could hear my lifespan whispering in my ear like, "Hi, bro." Time is catching up, man. I just felt like I'm not so young anymore. Oh, girl used to say now kamponsang. Now they say na zinto zam. Because back then I used to be a young and they're like, oh, ungang bonsang got alright. Got that now they're like, hey, I seen those out my daughter, you know what I'm saying? Time really flies, man. That nigga is aging, you know? And I needed to speak on that as well and said, yo, get it while you still can, bro. You know, strike while the iron is hot, man, because trust me, you don't have that much time as much as you think. And the fourth record is Not Anymore. Not Anymore is the last record that I made for this EP. And ooh, top tier record. I just heard the beat produced by Theo Henchman. Shout out Theo Henchman. And I just felt like, man, I need to have this as part of the record. When you hear it, you'll understand. It's a jiggy record. Oh, thank God for a new day. I'm blessed for sure. Gotta get money in every single way because I don't got a choice. I was looking down on myself, but not any. And then I speak about it like not anymore, bro. And I speak about it entirely, and I just wanted to make it a jiggy record. Six six sensel kalili kuta vugamole. Ish, but in como you have tongue, are we told by and clever vugubangen. It's a whole bunch of records, man. There's still 5 more records that people don't know, but obviously they'll all come as a collective on this project, and people are gonna enjoy it, man. Crazy
And
project.
I'm not giving up. Am I correct to say that it has a bit of Drake influence in there
I'm not giving no.
with the hook? Because I think you sing in there.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't really say a Drake influence there. You know, even the approach itself. There is a song that I made that was like Drake coded, but I didn't put it on this project because I felt like, it didn't come out the way. And also, I was just up against time, so I was like, nah, I'm not gonna try and re-record and fix it. Time. So I was like, okay, fine. But the I'm not giving up. Uh, it was really me just playing with vocals, you know. And you know the crazy thing is, you're gonna hear from this project that I actually play around with vocals a lot more. You'd be so surprised. There's a song called "I Know My Way." Definitely, I handle vocals there. There's a song called obviously I'm Not Giving Up has vocals already. There's a song called "You Did That to Yourself." That one also has vocals. Um, 500,000 is okay. 500,000 is I have vocals, but I'm not necessarily singing, so wouldn't really count it. But it's a lot of songs that where I play around with vocals. So yeah, I'd say a major influence when it comes to singing, Chris Brown. Chris Brown. I listen to Breezy, and I know which this record will need this type of approach because I listen to Chris Brown so damn much that he teaches me, which okay, if you're gonna go for a certain tone, this is the type of if you're gonna go for vocals, this is the type of tone you need on this type of record, depending on the feeling it also gives you. So yeah, definitely Breezy. I'd say Breezy for sure on the vocals. The Landrose underscore on all platforms. Landrose on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music. Landrose on Facebook. Landrose underscore on TikTok and Instagram. Landrose on X. Listen, Landrose everywhere. And 24th of October, I'm dropping a project on all digital platforms, but I'm dropping physical copies of the project, and they'll come in USBs. I've packaged them nicely. It's only a matter of time until I start dishing them out. And listen, I'm on a mission to push these copies, man. The amount of people I'm going to push this to is going to be crazy. I've got a target, and I believe I can reach it, and I'm going to give myself enough time because I think I worked hard enough and I gave people a solid body of work. And you know what? This is definitely value for money. And I think when people hear it, even though they stream it, they'll still want to own a copy because it's that amazing. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.